It is little wonder that comets have always captured the human imagination. They appear time and time again in poetry and art, and many people before the modern era tried to explain them. They were taken as signs of changing leadership and heralded in the birth of Alexander the Great, the death of Charlemagne, and William the Conqueror's invasion of England. The astronomers in ancient Greece and China gave different names to comets of different shapes, and records of Comet Halley go back to 240 BC in China. According to Aristotle, in the time when the sun was thought to go around the earth, comets were like whirlpools whipped up by the motion of the sun and stars. When they appeared in the sky, he said, we should be wary of droughts and high winds. By the Middle Ages, their meaning had changed from signs of disaster to the cause. Thinking that comets were much closer to the earth than was actually true, these fiery balls were said to create earthquakes, disease, and famine. Even as recent as 1712, comets could cause panic. A comet was predicted to appear on October 14th of that year, and the prediction came true. The public feared the second coming of Christ, and moved to boats in the Thames to save themselves. Clergymen from all over London were brought to the banks of the river to say prayers. The panic of the people even destroyed the economy. Comets, whether considered beautiful events or dangerous omens, have always held a place in the human psyche. Comets, frequently described as dirty snowballs, are made of ice, frozen gases, and dust that didn't get formed into planets. They are relatively small for astronomical objects, usually only reaching a few kilometers in size. They go around the sun in very eccentric elliptical orbits, taking them very close to the sun and then out past Pluto. The part of a comet includes its solid nucleus or sensor, a cloud of evaporated gas known as a coma, and a tail made of dust. The tail of a comet always points away from the sun, because it is blown by a stream of particles from the sun known as solar wind.
You see a streak of light in the sky. Well, that's a chunk of rock burning up in the Earth's atmosphere, a meteor. When you see a star with a fuzzy tail, that's a dusty chunk of ice heated by the sun, a comet.
What we all know about comets comes mainly from space probes. On September 11, 1985, the International Cometary Explorer flew through the tail of comet Giacobini-Zinner. From this, we learned that the comet's tails contained ionized water vapor. On March 14, 1986, Giotto took photographs of the nucleus of Halley's comet. From this, we learned that the nucleus of a comet continues to lose mass as the materials in it evaporate. Comet Halley is one of the most famous comets. In 1758, Edmund Halley discovered that the comets seen in 1531 and 1607 were the same object, and it was named in his honor. Comet Swift-Tuttle was discovered in 1862 and could possibly collide with the Earth in the distant future. Comet Shoemaker-Levy 9 collided with Jupiter in 1994, making it the first recorded collision in the solar system. Comet Hale-Bopp was discovered in 1995. Its nucleus was found to be about 40 kilometers across and was visible to the naked eye for 19 months. It won't appear again for another 24,000 years. Comet Hyakutake, discovered in 1995, won't be near the Sun again for another 14,000 years. Its nucleus is average-sized, about 1 or 2 miles across, but it has one of the longest tails ever observed. In January of 2007, Comet McNaught was one of the brightest comets in the century. Comet Holmes first appeared in 1892, but during its reappearance in October of 2007 it did something unusual. It brightened exponentially in the space of 17 hours, ending up bigger than the Sun, at 1.4 million kilometers across. No one knows what caused this. Theories include an explosion of gas from inside the nucleus, or a collision with a meteoroid.
Yay, Comets!